Hey, my Taurus babies, what's happening? This is EJ from Taurota Tarot. Hope everybody is having a manageable week. Not gonna say good, I'm just gonna say manageable. Yep, it has been already. We're only 2 days into the week and it's been that kind of week already. But that's okay. Taurus, this is gonna be Taurus and Pisces. Sitting in a tree, Kissing. I have already shuffled and cut the cards. For those of you that have already liked, shared, and subscribed, thank you. I love you so much. I appreciate you. For those of you that have not, please feel free to do so. Click on the little bells down there somewhere so you can be notified when I'm here. A reminder, I do my cards straight up. So Taurus and Pisces, what the hell y'all got going on? Seems like the two of you have had some kind of disagreement recently, but you were kind of coming back together, and I don't know, it could be just the nature of things going on right now with so much in the air, politically, socially, you name it, and you're just kind of clinging to each other. But the reminder here for both of you is to pay attention to the details, so that you know that what you're doing is solid. It's no sense in getting into something. I don't know what, I won't know till I put the cards down. I don't know what you're getting ready to get into, but make sure, this is what we're talking about, a relationship change. That we're going to be in the details on this one, that I do know. So this is going to be for the month of June and a little piece of July. Dang, we there already, ain't we? It has been a weird year, to say the least. Let's see what Taurus and Pisces has got going on. Okay. Partnerships and alliances. Okay. So this feels like it was a business kind of type sort of situation. Maybe the two of you were in business together, and because of the virus, maybe not. Now, Taurus, you got you're in action mode. Definitely in action mode. So this is Taurus and Pisces for June, a little piece of July. Okay, so far, overall energy. Princess of Wands is sitting up on top of the relationship change card, the crown chakra, or the I know, pulled the Ace of Coins. The Hope card pulled the Queen of Swords. Suffering in Silence pulled the Six of Coins. Wheel of Fortune is sitting on top of material and spiritual prosperity. Current energy. Rejoice and Celebration is pulling the Three of Coins. Trapped in Fear. See, yeah, y'all kind of skating around on. That's where the struggle is. Okay, I'm coming back. Partnerships and alliances. Knight of Wands. Future energy. Patience and planning. Seven of Coin. Karmic completion pulls the Chariot. Spirituality pulls the Empress. Oh, yeah, that kind of activity. The centerpiece, the Trapped in Fear with the Four of Wands. Okay, so if we just look at kind of like all that out there, but the struggle is right there. In Taurus, this is about one of the both of you not, you're too scared to move. The fuck else can I say? You were too scared to move, and this is the crux of everything else going on. So when you're fearful, I don't know if people hear this a lot or not. I do, just probably because of the nature of the things that I work around and work with. But when you're fearful, you make dumb decisions. I can't say it any other kind of way. You just do dumb shit, and you're doing it because you're acting out of fear, and not any other reason really. You're scared to move forward because you can't see what's there. The catch to any of that is that right now we're all in the same boat. Taurus, Pisces, Cancer, Virgo, Sagittarius, everybody is in the same boat. We cannot see. Okay, so a little clue as to what I do regularly, scheduling appointments. And so I schedule many appointments way into the future, like a year from now, 8 months from now, 7 months from now. And a common comment that I hear is, I don't know what I'm going to be doing then. I don't know if I'm going to be here then. I don't know where I'm going to be then. Even as close as October, if you think about July to October, from 7 to 10, it's only 3 months. People, I don't know. We don't know if we're going to be here. We don't know where we're going to be. Okay, so there you are, Taurus and Pisces. There's an Aries here, because the minute I start shuffling the cards, Aries just wanted to float all up in my head, and I see a lot of little Aries shit on the board. Wand cards are action cards, and so usually the darker color cards and the larger cards are the doing things, not really doing things. Suffering in silence, for example. And this is your recent past energy. What do you do when you suffer in silence? You really don't do anything. You're quiet. Okay, so you get that. It's the same thing here. So let's start at the beginning. Relationship change. What's the Princess of Wands? There is an element of, I have to say that. It's an element of immaturity on your part, Taurus, I'm probably going to say. Because of this fear, this action not wanting to happen because you don't know. And that's typical for Taurus. Let me back this up. Now, Pisces is a little more, what is my word? Free for all, not really, but y'all can kind of go with the flow a little better. Taurus, on the other hand, is all about the earth. We're an earth sign. So, trying to put a bull in a boat, a lot of times it's not going to work out real well because bulls don't understand water. Okay, so this inability to do anything, but it's got a real kind of immature kind of, well, if you don't do it, I'm not going to do it type thing. Okay. And you got this change on your mind. You want to step this. Everybody is ready to step this up, but it's just like, okay, well, you go first. No, well, why don't you go first? Well, no, I'm not going to go first, so you go first. Back end, crown chakra. I know. This is the beginnings of a good thing. Wherever you are in this relationship, 6 months, a year, 6 weeks, whatever, 6 hours, what the hell, wherever you are, this is the seed. See, that's the happy seed. You plant it in the ground and you wait for it to come up. This is good. With your Pisces, however this is resonating with you, and as Grandmama say, you the fish eat the bones, but this is a good thing. But you still are kind of looking at this. This is your energy, Taurus. This is your energy, and it's that grounded. When you put something in the ground, bam, it's there. It's not going anywhere. It's going to grow up or out. But this is the shit in your gut. This is it. This is good. Even though the relationship has its moments and its flaws, this is good. But you just kind of like, right back over here. And so now it's time to step this up, and probably for a variety of reasons. Again, a hint of working together is there. When we look at your recent past with the Queen of Swords on top of the Hope, it feels like the two of you tried to, I'm going to go back and say as far as the beginning of the year, you tried to go into this relationship. This applies to you, Taurus, and your Pisces. It seems like you tried to go into this relationship with some structure, at least from a thinking level. You tried to do things just kind of in an orderly manner. And for a minute that worked, but at some point, Taurus, you may have felt like you were giving up too much, giving away too much, telling too much, talking too much. But there's your suffering in silence. And so, for a variety of things, and I'm going to guess the pandemic may have been one, Wheel of Fortune gets into play and started changing your material and spiritual prosperity. not for any other reason of just the shit that's going on. So for some of you, this may mean that you may have had a business, a restaurant, a food cart, I don't know, even an online thing or something, and with this, it's been disrupted. Or it could be just work, the two of you doing two separate things, but changes. That Wheel of Fortune, and that's major energy. And what that did, it could have been a million things, but the one thing I'm thinking is the pandemic. That set your relationship off into a different direction. So you may have just internally felt the changes, but you probably saw them as well. So some of you may have lost cars or had to downsize apartments, however that's resonating with you. That in turn put a strain on the relationship. But in all of that, again, this is really the core. Y'all afraid to move ahead, up, next level. You get to the current energy. You've been talking about it. You've been thinking about it. Wedding, however you're going to do that on Zoom or Skype or whatever. But you've been talking about it and you've been thinking about it. Making plans. Making plans. And that energy is strong, but then we come right here and there it is. And it's like, well, you go first. No, well, you go first. Well, you go first. And so when you get into that kind of energy where you're scared, instead of looking at my baby Groot, instead of looking at the whole tree, you might need to just cut a piece of the bark off or cut a small branch off. I'm just saying, it feels like y'all are trying to do it all at one time, figure out how you're going to do it all at one time, instead of when you get into, I don't want to say crisis mode, but yeah, we're kind of in crisis mode right now. When you get into to gear up mode, let's call it that, you can't look at the whole big thing and figure out how you're going to do that. You got to break it down into smaller pieces. When you break it down into smaller pieces, it becomes less scary, less frightening, less intimidating, and easier to maneuver and manipulate the way you need to, because you're not dealing with a whole, where's the most awkward deck of cards I have. You're not dealing with a whole stack of cards, 500 in each hand that you're trying to shuffle that are going to fly all over the place. I'm just saying. So that's something to think about. That is your challenge for the next 4 or 5 weeks, about how you're going to do that. And then still maintain a level of present here and now in the moment with all of your relationships, pretty much, not just with your partner, but with everybody else you're doing business with, you're talking to, at work, however. You still need to remain in the moment. And so one of the words that popped in my head while I was shuffling was details. Paying attention to details, still making sure, again, that you're in the moment. If you are busy worrying about future shit that hasn't happened yet, that's not being present. And so be very careful if you're trying to do anything, especially getting ready to go into a Mercury retrograde. Monday is June 15th. Come on. Mercury goes retro on the 18th. Venus comes out of retro on the 25th. That's a lot of big planet moving shit. So whatever you're getting ready to get into, and particularly as it is about, maybe you're thinking about having a little small gathering at Christmas time or Thanksgiving, say I do's and I don'ts and I wills and won'ts. Break it down into smaller chunks. Stay in the present moment so you can pay attention to the details. If you fuck up on this, it just boils down to you having to redo. Red is always about the activity. You having to redo something. You might have to pay twice for something. It's that kind of shit. So pay attention to the details, especially as it relates to you as a couple or you as a partnership. If the two of you are working with other people, just pay attention to the fine print. When you get to your future energy, the patience in planning and achieving. So Your future energy is really telling me that you're gonna get this, but it's gonna just take a little bit of patience and planning. And this is the business end of the patience and planning. So as far as the details of whatever it is that you're trying to do, wedding bells are just all up in my ears. So if you really are trying to plan a wedding, it's gonna take some patience because you're dealing with a different environment now. You can't just run to the church and be like, hey, we want to get married on December 22nd and have everybody here. Well, okay, somebody's going to have a problem with that. Those are the kinds of things it's going to take patience. A little bit of creativity will go a long way in helping you see what else can be done. Just throw that out there. Your Pisces is all in on this shit. It's all in. There's an Aries. I'm going to go back to this. There's an Aries in the midst of this. This could be a mother, a sister, a cousin. It's a female. It's feminine in okay, let me not say female. It's feminine energy. Put it like that. It could be male or female, but it's more feminine energy. And they're just kind of here and there. I don't want to say it's malicious because it certainly isn't. It's just like the nosy mama. Oh, what are you guys doing? What are you planning? And that may be called adding to the anxiety level. A good way to bypass some of that is whoever this person is. You may need to, Taurus, Pisces, either one, get with that person and just show them a little bit of attention, because it feels like whoever this is just kind of needle nosing everything, is more lonely and acting out because nobody's paying them any attention. However that resonates with you. Just go spend some time with them, and then they'll be less inclined to be, all up on you. Some of you may have changed your living environment. You may have moved out of an apartment to get a house, but in the meantime, you're staying with mom and dad, or your sister and her husband, or your brother and his wife, however that's going. And so maybe someone around you that's kind of just picking and prodding. They're not trying to be mean. Again, it just feels like they're not getting enough attention. So if you have time, Taurus, Pisces, either one, sit down with that person and, make some time for them and do whatever. And that may go a long way in helping them kind of get out of your business and offer your thing. Again, the future energy is going to take time to achieve the type of balance that you need to achieve for what you're trying to do. Moving, marriage, moving in together, all of that. Excuse me. Some of you maybe even dealing with kids that may be coming for the summer. That whole package. Take what's yours, leave the rest. Just be patient and try to plan as much of it as you can. At some point, the two of you going to have to come out of that trapped in fear and just decide on which way you're going. The karmic completion is telling me that you will be done with that part of the relationship and you will be moving on into another part of the relationship. Yeah, it's sitting underneath this is not a mistake, just so you know. But you'll be moving away from what you are now to where you're trying to, the thing you as a couple you're trying to achieve. It's right there. And it will be the two of you that'll have to decide what direction you want to go in. That can relate to professional, housing, everything. That will complete that part of the cycle. At the end of that, the Empress, on top of the spirituality, this will be the thing that binds you together, your spirituality together, whatever that is. Doesn't have to be going to church every Sunday or going to the synagogue every Saturday or going to the mosque on Friday. No, don't have to be that in depth. For the two of you to tighten that spiritual connection between the two of you. Doesn't have to be like that. But again, no mistake here that is sitting underneath him and that in the moment shit. Your partnerships and alliances. And knowing that You're presenting, this is major energy, you got two of them back to back, Chariot and the Empress, but you're presenting through and through a very good image. That's you and Pisces, Taurus. Very confident looking relationship. It's just y'all are gonna have to chunk it down. Again, this confidence that the two of you, it's not just one of you, the two of you have, will come from getting a little tighter with this. Maybe you're saying a prayer together. I don't know, lighting a candle, whatever you're into. But doing something, one small thing. It don't have to be, like I said, it don't have to be a big knockdown, drag out thing. But one small thing that the two of you do together, and that will provide both of you with some valuable self-confidence about your relationship. It'll probably also add a little bit of insight and depth to it as well. Again, I know y'all feeling like this is funny. It's like, well, you go first. No, you go first. Take it in small pieces. Just take it in small pieces, and don't feel like you have to do all of it right now, or that you got to plan all of it right now, Taurus. I'm talking to you now, because you like to plan. You got to do everything right now. You don't. Take it in small pieces. Let's see what, as well, since I picked them up, see what they have to say. The Rebel cards. A little bit of advice. Universe, this is for Taurus and Pisces. Fuck. Shit is about to get real. You need your people around you. Shit's about to get real. And I'm going to say, as far as your relationship is concerned, that sounds about right. And that is probably what's got some of y'all just kind of trapped in your own little corner. You know, just like the hood. Yeah, this shit's about to get real. It's about to get real. This is where you find out a lot about each other. When you start talking about making moves and moving upward, elevating the relationship, it's when the shit gets real. Deal with your drama. Handle exes, old hurts, and unresolved shit. Deal with your drama. Again, this Arian energy that I'm feeling, Aries, that may be an ex. I wouldn't throw the baby out the bathwater on that one. That might be an ex. And it's not, again, it's not that I want your man, I had him before. Not that kind of energy. It's more of, I just called to see how you were. It's a friendly, nosy kind of energy. That's exactly what it is. Whoever this is, whether it's from the Pisces side or from the Taurus side, deal with it. Just deal with it. Do whatever you need to do. Just deal with it so that they are not a persistent, bugging problem. It's the best way I know how to put that. Anything else you got going on individually with your families and exes and friends, all of that, especially if you're thinking about getting married, deal with that drama. Deal with it before you do anything else, because you don't want people interfering in something so very fragile. You know, see, all this shit right here take time and effort. I'm just saying, you know, to spiritually bond with somebody and make the bond tighter, and trying to, you know, show this unified collective confidence. That takes, is fragile. It takes a lot of time to get that good. Don't let folks just, because they ain't got shit else to do, all up in your shit and break this up. Don't do it. Don't do it. Deal with whatever drama you need to deal with. Forgive. Not for them. Do that shit for you. Forgive. And that's all you can do. If you've got people in your experience that are trying to make things more complicated, especially with Mercury getting ready to go retrograde next week, people trying to make shit more complicated than it absolutely has to be. You know, It's no need in getting into a fight. People that are arguing political shit right now, you know, folks is gonna say and do what they gonna say and do. So don't spend a whole lot of time trying to get somebody to see something they ain't trying to see no way. Forgive them. And again, you're not doing it for them. Do it for you. Keep moving along. Don't get caught up in, again, drama. Expect the best. They're again dealing with that trapped in fear shit. Expect the best. Quit tripping. And expect the best. Don't none of us know what's going on tomorrow. We don't, because shit just, if I told you how fast and how rapidly the energy is changing, you wouldn't believe me if I told you anyway. But it is. It is. So all of us are like, whoa, wow. Yeah. You can feel certain things coming. You can feel the tension in the air, but from one day to the next. So just expect the best. Just expect the best. The universe will see to it that whatever it is that you're trying to do happens. That's real talk. Cloak yourself in light. And again, especially if you're dealing with a lot of family members and your partner's family and some other shit, cloak yourself in light. And then just generally with everything going on, like I've been saying every time this card has popped up in the past 6 weeks, before you walk out your door, just ask the universe and the creator, the Lord and the lady, whoever you're doing it with, cloak you in light, protect you and protect your family, and keep it moving. There's nothing you need to dwell on or go into a whole lot of depth. Just cloak yourself in light. One more card, universe. One more card, please. And get a new story. Karmic completion. Chariot. Get a new story. So when you come out of this as a couple, don't stay stuck on it. Oh, it's so hard. And oh, God, blah, blah, blah. Let it go. Get a new story. Create that future that you want. It's possible. Taurus and Pisces, I love y'all. I hope y'all have a good rest of the week. Stay safe. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.